It's Wednesday evening. Welcome to the programme. We start tonight with a prolific fraudster who we first exposed a few years ago, promising jobs to Londoners that simply didn't exist. We've now discovered he's still operating, this time taking advantage of people worried about their livelihoods during the pandemic. It's left some people thousands of pounds out of pocket. That's despite an ongoing police investigation into the scam. With a special report, here's Lynn.
What do you have to say to them, Mr. Phillips?
No answer. I don't know what you're talking about.
This was a criminal we tracked down in 2016, ripping off hundreds of Londoners. Now we've discovered that John Phillips is still up to his old tricks.
I lost £2,000.
2,500.
It totals up to £8,000 for me.
Just look at these faces. Young, keen, desperate to work. Fraudster John Phillips has freshly preyed on all of them during the height of the coronavirus crisis, stealing money for accreditation fees to work for a fake company, then paying them nothing. Some of them left good jobs to work for his bogus firm in the hardest of times.
At first, I was so grateful to find a job during this whole COVID mess, and just to know that it was all for nothing, and not that it was all for nothing. It was like I was a part of a scam and I was scamming the other people.
It's just really brought me down to a position where I feel like, do I really want to go back out there and try to apply for another job?
The number of times I've actually cried about this situation, because there's no one to help us.
So how does his scam work? We've previously been undercover to catch him red-handed. He targets those who post CVs on job websites. Then he pretends to be a senior manager for a fake firm.
We want to find a way to make money at every possible. The world is very competitive.
Candidates hand over hundreds of pounds for an accreditation fee, which is never refunded. Shockingly, their work then, so to speak, is to unwittingly find other victims to become part of the bogus company. Every new person hands over yet more money. All of it goes straight into Mr. Phillips' pockets. We've alerted the police repeatedly, and this former Detective Chief Inspector with more than 20 years' service has analysed the BBC's evidence.
Where there are repeat offences and where the same offender keeps coming back doing the same thing and victimising dozens more people, then you lose your patience with them at some point and say, right, you're nicked, mate, and you're staying nicked. I find it extraordinary that the police service has just utterly failed to stop this man on his criminal endeavours. It's beyond belief, to be fair.
You've changed your name to another name, have you? But you're continuing to defraud Londoners despite being on the BBC?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This was the last time we physically caught up with Phillips.
Why is it that you seem to think that it's OK to continue defrauding Londoners in this way?
I don't know what you're talking about.
His scam has been previously described as the largest of its kind in the capital to date.
Get out of my way.
The BBC can't physically stop Mr. Phillips, but can only warn once more
Stay away from me. I have nothing to say to you.
that this fraudster is still very much out there.
And guys, here, as you said that, people may be shocked that this keeps happening. What are police saying?
I think tonight, Riz, there are serious questions about the Met's investigation. We've alerted them about the activities of this fraudster, and I've run through it: 2016, 2017, 2019, and now, shockingly, at the height of the coronavirus crisis, 2020. We've got a statement this evening in from Detective Chief Inspector Gary Miles. He's from the Met's Economic Crime Command. And he's confirmed that the investigation into John Phillips is continuing. He says that it's a complex set of circumstances. They're not prepared to comment specifically on the details of their ongoing investigations. They say that collaboration is continuing with other law enforcement agencies. They're aware too that the current COVID crisis has created a situation where more and more people are looking for employment and are at risk of exploitation. And they're now encouraging anyone who thinks they may have been the victim of employment fraud to report it to Action Fraud. So Riz, as I said before, I've been covering this for 4 years. I have lost count of the number of victims I've spoken to who've been affected by John Phillips, and all of them have reported it to Action Fraud, and none of them have got any joy at all. So I think tonight there's going to be a lot of interest from a lot of people watching who've been affected by this fraudster in the Metropolitan Police's ongoing investigation into him.
OK, Guy, thank you. Lynn.